Climate activist Greta Thunberg recently trolled President Donald Trump on Twitter. Now, this is following the 16-year-old activist being named Times Person of the Year for her work in activism when it comes to climate change. And after that happened, the Trump family went after her on Twitter. So now, first, Don Jr. Attacked her. Actually, went after Time Magazine, saying that Thunberg is nothing more than a marketing gimmick for the magazine. Okay. Now, on Thursday, the president joined in on that attack, saying this: "So ridiculous. Greta must work on her anger management problem. Then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta. Chill." Oh, obviously not chill. Look, keep in mind, this is supposedly an adult, supposedly, right? Going after a minor. She's still a child by all intents and purposes. And yet he goes after her on Twitter. Don Jr. goes after her on Twitter. The MAGA guys go after her. And again, a lot of this is the MAGA guys, the followers of the president, attacking a child. Simply for the, alleged crime of pointing out how world leaders are not only failing, not only of the generation, but also everyone by not combating climate change. So they're failing everybody. And so she has the audacity to call them out. And so the tweet here, by the way, is dripping with condescension and sarcasm. Why are you so mad, Greta? Why don't you just smile, sweetie, and go watch a movie with your little friends? That's essentially what he's saying. Again, not only deeply condescending, but misogynistic. She is angry for a good reason. It is because rampant greed is destroying the environment in which she needs to survive, which we all need to survive. Not, here's the thing. Scientists, and this is one of the news stories, we're going to cover this later. Scientists are saying that the ocean is starting to run out of oxygen. Like, that's bad. That's really bad. Couple that along with acidification, overfishing, and look, man, pollution. We have an island-sized patch of garbage floating around in the ocean right now. It's embarrassing and disastrous. So now, getting back to Greta, so now she has learned how to shrug off these attacks from supposed adults, right? And world leaders. Jair Bolsonaro called her a brat. I mean, it's ridiculous. Again, these right-wing leaders are, and not only right-wing leaders, but she was also attacked by French President Emmanuel Macron, who is the supposed center-left president of France. And she's like shrugging off this criticism, and she does so in an interesting way. She changes her Twitter bio. So she recently changed it to teenager working on her anger management problem, currently chilling and watching a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. I love it. And before that, after Bolsonaro called her a brat, she added that to her Twitter profile as well. So, look, it's kind of amazing how a child has a thicker skin than the president of the United States. And I'm going to show you that. You even tweet Trump a little bit, and he flies into an impotent rage. Same with a lot of his supporters. Again, these are adults. Now, I talked yesterday about the MAGA guys that went after her, right, on Twitter, and I gave you a bunch of their tweets. And it's funny because these are the same people, and I didn't even make the connection yesterday, but these are the same people that flipped out when Barron Trump's name was mentioned during an impeachment hearing. And now those same people are justifying attacking a child on Twitter and are joining in on it. So let me give you that, right? So this was I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago maybe. Pamela Karlan, a Stanford law school professor, used his name in the context of presidential power. Context matters here, right? So she said kings could do no wrong because the king's word was law. Contrary to what President Trump has said, Article 2 does not give him the power to do anything he wants. I will give you one example that shows the difference between him and a king. which is the Constitution says that there can be no titles of nobility. While the president can name his son Baron, he cannot make him a baron. So look, that's some interesting fancy wordplay, right? That happens to involve Baron's name, right? And not, him himself. And it basically is a point to say that the president's not above the law. He's not royalty. He's not nobility. And so therefore he can't do whatever the hell he wants. But for 3 days, the right wing piled on Carlin, so much so that she had to give an apology. She apologized for this, for doing nothing wrong. And that was, I think, a huge mistake. Never apologize to the right wing when you do nothing wrong. If you didn't do anything wrong, why would you ever apologize? But even Melania Trump went after Carlin, saying that you should not, go attack children. Leave them out of this. Ironic. Again, ironic. Now, I wonder if Melania is going to weigh in on this, since she is, of course, supposed to be heading the Be Best campaign against cyberbullying, right? Attacking a child, it's off limits. Off limits. They should be allowed to have their privacy. Well, social media kind of wanted the same thing. Nancy McPhee says, would Melania like to address insulting a child? Where's the Be Best campaign? Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Kurt Geiger asks, so Donald Trump doesn't get the time cover, so he rage tweets a 16-year-old. Hey, Flotus, are you as fierce a defender of minor children deserving privacy and advocate against using a child for biased public pandering, or was that just a last week thing? Hashtag be best. Mike Avila says, so it's okay to go after a kid fighting for climate protection, but we can't even mention Barron's name. Where's your righteous indignation now? Where's Melania's BS outrage? Maybe it will be written on a jacket she wears today. Jessica Shortall says, I see the president is mocking Greta Thunberg to the delight of his base. A quote from 8 days ago from Melania. You should be ashamed of your very angry and obviously biased public pandering and using a child to do it. Daly says, I thought attacking a minor child was horrible. Where's Melania, the GOP, state TV, all the right-wing nuts who went bonkers last week? Oh, she's a lefty and a young woman, so it's okay. Women don't forget GOP. So, yeah. Again, she's 16 years old. She is a minor, so technically a child. What happened to Be Best? Michael says, Be Best. Some restrictions may apply, such as hypocrisy. I love it. Let's see. Let's see if I have any more here. Let's go to Maggie Haberman for the last tweet, who points out, very important point, that I was making yesterday. She's part of the spectrum, right? And so Haberman points out, Asperger's is difficult for teenagers through any circumstances, being mocked by the President of the United States, whose allies get very angry about what gets said about some children, is its own category. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.